Welcome to Midnight Horrors. Dive into chilling tales and dark mysteries. Subscribe for more spine-tingling stories. Chapter 1. The First Encounter. In the quiet rural town of Willow Creek, nestled deep in the woods of northern Michigan, there was a legend known only to the locals, the Whisperer. As children, we were warned to stay away from the dense forest surrounding our homes, especially at dusk. It was said that the Whisperer could mimic the voices of loved ones, luring unsuspecting victims into the woods, never to be seen again. I was 10 years old when I first encountered the Whisperer. It was a scorching hot day in July, and my best friend, Sarah, and I decided to venture further into the woods than we had ever gone before. We felt like real explorers, packing sandwiches and juice boxes as we set off on an overgrown trail leading away from the familiar creek. After hours of walking, the forest grew denser and darker, and an uneasy feeling crept over me. The air felt heavy, and the silence was unnerving. Just as I was about to suggest turning back, we stumbled upon an ancient, gnarled willow tree. Its branches drooped low, almost touching the ground, creating a natural curtain around its trunk. "Come on, Alex," Sarah called, ducking under the branches. "It's so cool in here." Reluctantly, I followed her inside. The space beneath the willow was dim and cool, offering a welcome relief from the summer heat. It felt like we had discovered our own secret hideout. As we planned our adventures, a soft whispering voice broke the silence. "Come play," it beckoned, echoing from somewhere above us. We froze, exchanging wide-eyed glances. The voice was unfamiliar, almost musical in its cadence, yet it carried a strange echoing quality. "Did you hear that?" Sarah whispered, her eyes wide with excitement and fear. I nodded, my heart pounding. "Might have been the wind," I suggested, though I didn't believe it myself. The voice came again, louder this time. "I'm lonely. Climb up here. Keep me company." Sarah, ever the brave one, started to look up into the branches. "Do you see anyone?" she asked. I scanned the tangle of leaves above, but saw nothing. "We should go," I said, tugging on her arm. "This is creepy for once." Sarah didn't argue. We ducked back out from under the willow and started to speed walk back the way we had come. As we left the clearing, I swear I heard a faint, disappointed sigh rustling through the leaves behind us. Chapter 2. The Whispering Woods. In the weeks that followed, stories of strange encounters in the woods spread among the children of Willow Creek. Jenny Parker swore she heard someone calling her name while picking berries, only to find no one there. The Thompson twins claimed they saw a shadowy figure darting between the trees while camping in their backyard. Each tale was different, but they all had one thing in common: the Whisperer. Summer faded into fall, and the woods took on a sinister aura. The once vibrant leaves turned dark and menacing, and the air grew colder. The adults dismissed our stories as childish imagination, but we knew better. The Whisperer was real, and it was watching. One crisp October morning, news spread through town like wildfire. Billy Hutchins, a 7-year-old boy who lived on the outskirts of Willow Creek, had vanished from his backyard the night before. Search parties combed the woods, calling his name, but found no trace of him. It was as if he had vanished into thin air. The night Billy disappeared, I was sleeping over at Sarah's house. We stayed up late, watching movies, when we heard it, a voice just outside the window. It was Billy's voice, cheerful and innocent. "I'm going with him. It's so fun. You guys should come too," he said. We looked at each other in horror. We knew Billy was not the type to wander off at night, and we knew exactly who he was referring to, the Whisperer. We huddled together on the couch, too terrified to move until morning light broke the sky. After Billy's disappearance, the encounters stopped. No more voices, no more shadows lurking at the edge of the forest. It was as if the Whisperer had been satisfied and moved on, but we knew better. We knew it was only biding its time, waiting for its next victim. Chapter 3. The Echoing Calls. Years passed, and the memory of the Whisperer faded into the background of our lives. Sarah and I grew up, went our separate ways, and the town of Willow Creek slowly returned to normal. But the fear never left us. It lingered like a shadow, always just out of sight. One evening, while visiting my parents in Willow Creek, I decided to take a walk in the woods. It was a crisp autumn day, the leaves crunching underfoot as I followed the familiar trail. As I walked, I couldn't shake the feeling of being watched. Suddenly, a voice called out from the shadows, "Alex, it's me, Sarah. Come over here." It was Sarah's voice, unmistakably hers, but something was off. The tone was distorted, as if echoing through a tunnel. My heart pounded in my chest as I scanned the trees, searching for the source. The voice came again, this time more insistent. "Alex, hurry, I need your help." I hesitated, the memories of our childhood encounters flooding back. I knew it couldn't be Sarah. She was miles away, living her own life. The air grew cold, and the forest seemed to close in around me. I turned to leave, but the voice followed, growing louder and more desperate. It was as if the Whisperer was trying to draw me deeper into the woods, to claim another victim. Desperate to escape, I ran, the voice echoing behind me. It shifted and changed, mimicking the voices of loved ones long gone, each call more haunting than the last. I stumbled through the underbrush, my breath coming in ragged gasps, until I burst into the clearing, the town lights beckoning me home. Chapter 4. The Final Confrontation. Haunted by the encounter in the woods, I knew I had to confront the Whisperer once and for all. The fear had taken root in my mind, and I couldn't escape the feeling that it was waiting for me, lurking just beyond the edge of my consciousness. I returned to Willow Creek, determined to put an end to the nightmare that had plagued me for so long. Armed with knowledge from old legends and folklore, I ventured back into the forest, to the willow tree where it had all begun. As I approached the tree, the air grew thick with tension. The forest was silent, save for the rustling of leaves in the wind. I steeled myself, calling out to the Whisperer, "Show yourself, I know you're here." The response was immediate. Voices erupted from the shadows, a cacophony of familiar tones twisted and distorted. They taunted and beckoned, trying to draw me closer to the tree, but I stood my ground, refusing to be swayed. In the darkness, a figure emerged. It was a twisted, nightmarish form, shifting and changing with each step. Its face was a grotesque mockery of humanity, a blank canvas with eyes that burned like embers. The whisper had revealed itself, a being of pure malevolence and deception. The confrontation was fierce and terrifying. The whisper lunged at me, its form warping and stretching, but I fought back with every ounce of strength and courage I had. The battle raged on, a struggle of wills and determination, until finally the whisper retreated, vanishing into the shadows. As the dawn broke, I knew I had won, but the victory was bittersweet. The whisper was gone, but the scars it left behind would remain forever. The forest was quiet once more, but I knew it would never be truly safe. The darkness still lingered, waiting for its next opportunity to strike. Thank you for watching our chilling tale of Innsmouth Horror, a descent into darkness. We hope you enjoyed the journey into the mysterious and terrifying world of Willow Creek. If you liked the video, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe to our channel, Midnight Horrors, for more spine-tingling stories. Don't forget to hit the notification bell so you never miss an update. Your support helps us continue to bring you the best horror content.